Hello, greetings, thank you for joining us for tonight's broadcast provided by Fifth Dimension. Alright, we have a weird one tonight. I had to say yesterday it wasn't strange, but so Zeta Gray connections. How do I go into this? I was listening to, I'll put this on the screen. Bob Lazar had a documentary. I finally got around to seeing it. It's not too bad. It's not critical. You have to see it. But it does have some fascinating moments with it. Yeah, it's kind of dull in a lot of areas, for obvious reasons. Kind of telling you stuff you already know to a degree, but it does give you different angles. And it's definitely worth a watch for sure, because he's not normally. He talked about Area 51 is the first one, I believe, that I ever mentioned it. And they're just going through, is he telling the truth, is he lying? And it was pretty fascinating how they dive into that. But he did a hypnosis session. And when he was doing the hypnosis session, it wasn't very long. It just showed a little bit of clips. I kind of connected to my own connections. And I got bugs everywhere here, apparently. So I'm going to go into that, what I saw, what I picked up on, and see how far we go. So I instantly connected to my Zeta connections, and we're going to roll into that. See what you get, see what point of view. It just sort of just came through, so we'll go into that in a moment. But first, I know what the hell I'm doing here. Okay, this is the Bob Lazar documentary right here. You can, you can see on Amazon and Vimeo and everywhere pretty much. So, if you can afford it, you can rent it for like a couple bucks. It's definitely worth taking a look on. I'm surprised he's even there, but yeah, it's not someone that wants to talk about the subject matter anymore, that's for sure. Also, I looked at Kathmandu, that is in Nepal, is an Asian country. I looked up feline energies. Kind of interesting, they had elephant energies and feline, different types of feline beings there. And I'm not going to go into that here, but the energies of it were quite, there's a lot of cats there, let's put it that way. It is called Kathmandu. I just figured that out. I wasn't really looking at it from that point of view, but yeah. So this is definitely cat territory, obviously. Man, that looks like a fascinating looking horse, or whatever the hell that is. Fearful monster statue, and I think that's Kathmandu. I have to really look into this. So I figured I'd share some of this. Definitely that cat capital for sure. Yeah, looks like a monkey type cat too. Anyway, and also India. I looked up griffins in India. As some, I don't know if many. I don't know. I didn't look that deeply into. This isn't that deep, but one thing about India, I don't know if you ever looked at. Let's see, is India safe? No, it's not safe for female travelers. It's unfreaking believable. Out of all places in the world to be dangerous towards women, it's India. Unfreaking believable. Yeah, India. I forgot. There's another term for it, but either way, it's not safe. I mean, if you know what the hell you're doing, but if you have a few people with you, and hopefully one of them's a male, and you keep an eye on the female, because man, India is just holy shit. It's not a very friendly place. All right, so enough of that. That's not why we're here. I was really surprised about India, actually. Yeah, Afghanistan's pretty bad, and of course, and then it goes to Saudi Arabia and things like that. So, yikes. Okay, let's see here. Okay, now I'm gonna go into what I saw as a Zeta, and then I'm gonna connect to it again and see how far it goes. If I can remember everything, I was gonna write it down actually. It's quite fascinating. So let's see. See, my Zeta connections come from another universe. What happened? Now, obviously, take it with a grain of salt, but here's a version of our story. Is depending on how you look at the Zeta connections. They are from a version of human, but not a lot of them are not from our world. They're like another version of human from somewhere else, basically. They might have some of our DNA, but it doesn't matter. Either way, during Atlantean time periods, the Zetas did connect to our DNA, and it did cause a lot of self-destructive problems. Another reason why humans became self-destructive. Now it depends on what kind of Zeta energies are brought in. Let's put there was a certain kind of Zeta energy. This is why we're so connected to them. A certain type of DNA that was brought into us that enhanced our abilities, but also it's kind of like a drug. I've connected this to another species too, but never exactly who it was. One of them was the Zeta. We're connected to our, we received their DNA, and it really activated the Atlanteans more than where they couldn't handle it, and became very destructive. As you hear of a story of Zetas coming from another Earth, destroyed their own version of Earth. That's from Bashar, but there's other connections there too. It's not just Bashar. Bashar, whatever. But the Atlanteans connected to I would call a version of Zeta DNA that really caused a lot of difficulties and had to be shut down. It was like, that was like the final element that caused us to become nuclear bombs. Depending on who you talk to, who you connect with. And this is what during the Bob Lazar thing. He was going through a trance, and I was kind of connecting to that trance energy through my own vibration. I was connected to myself, and what that was, I was seeing as, what I saw was I was Zeta from another universe altogether, and so it has nothing to do with this human, this jigsaw puzzle we have here. But the Zetas that brought their DNA to this, I don't know if it just came from my race, but whoever race it was, it really caused, now not all humans became self-destructive, but some of them did. And it became, but that was almost like enough power to destroy the planet with your mind. I know it's a little bit out there, but they were pretty powerful. It was like a drug. Now, did they call it like a Zeta drug? I don't think they exactly called it that, but either way, Zeta gray energies. So, I feel like a lot of it's been hidden of why we're kind of be connected to the alien. It's the Zeta. You hear about the tall whites and tall blondes and the reptilians, but for your general population, it's the Zeta. It's the green man, basically, right? The Martian. So they're not going into full details of what exactly that was but it was a Zeta element that came in. Now, I believe it was at first fine. It powered people up, but when you mix it with another species' energy, it becomes very vicious. Now, give you another, like those that are like Einstein, Sir Isaac Newton, it can give you a lot of mental abilities. Once again, it helps with it. They can also turn into a psychotic. So the Zeta DNA here is, now there's been blockages of our connections with them, but give you more insight. They're a part of the building blocks of our existence in many different ways. Like when I got activated, it was the Zetas that activated me. Now people are like all scared and all Go right ahead. And then I see where they go. It's like, oh, you're scared of me, but then you go to that person? No problem. More power to you. Not all Zetas are bad. Not all men in black are bad. Not all reptilians are bad, etc., etc. I mean, if you look at the human from an outsider's point of view, humans, I would just write them off. From our worlds, like, there might be a few nice ones. Most of them are kind of sketchy. So it's like, no. So, we say things about these other beings. We're not one to talk. Let's put it that way. Look at McDonald's, all that. It's like, yeah, we're a friendly race. Either way, just putting that out there. Yeah, so call it like, what do they call it? The Zeta element is what they're saying. It was like not necessarily a weaponized version of DNA from the Zetas, but was here to cure diseases. It had a lot of positive elements to it, but I just say, put in the wrong hands, it can be goodbye planet Earth. Now, the Martian connection with aliens is quite laughable from them. They do have a lot of Zetas have a lot of Martian bases, so that's one of the reasons for the Martian alien, and of course through pop culture also, they use the Martian energies for that. Well, they can call it the Martian alien. They don't really care, but the Zeta element was made in particular for the human to bring actually a lot of healing abilities to activate. It was to basically take all the elements from other species that we already have and enhance the healing ability. Where you can be like a Jesus or whatever you want to call it, and it just helped bring balance to the Atlantean DNA. But it can also be weaponized, and it was by various beings or by the Atlantean himself. So it's almost as like when they were putting all this DNA into the Atlanteans, it's like there's beings like behind the scenes, like waiting for certain elements to come in so they can use it for nefarious reasons. Now that wasn't fully known at the time. Obviously somebody knows, like, what, something, this can be used for something else, that, right? Oh, it'll be fine. So it's kind of like human was turned into like the atomic bomb, basically. Now it can be very positive energies of power, high power, but also it can be used for, obviously, reverse that. So there's a lot of elements within the Zetas that are obviously still unknown. You can thank the Palladians for bringing down the fires, or putting out the fires. They're one of the first ones to do so. The Syrians were hit actually pretty hard by the Atlanteans during war. Because the Syrians, like with the pyramids weren't really there, but the Syrians played a big role in spirituality. You can see Buddhism and all that. Syrians have a lot of connections with all of the Indian race, you can say. And most of the Syrians are wiped out here, is what they're saying. Big time. Because they were seen as a threat. And obviously this is one way of putting species against each other. Why some Syrians don't like us now, or however you want to look at it. It just, what they show me here is that Atlanteans went right after the Syrians and wiped out as many as they could. Because the Palladians weren't really a warrior race at the time, and they might have had some weapons and stuff, but they weren't really, they weren't really worried. Apparently the Syrians are the ones that were most worried about, because at least from the negative Atlanteans, they were seen as a major threat. So take it how you will. So yeah, they just show me many of the Atlanteans wiping them out quite a bit. And the Assyrians did not see what was coming. Had no idea. Didn't see anything. Of course, after the fact, they did. Most of the Syrian race that was here was wiped out by the Atlanteans. like 50% of it. They're not saying where, how, where, when, what. Either way, they wiped out quite a few of them. Now, the Syrians, yeah, play a big role in India and in the Arab world too. So their influence is pretty heavy here. So they've seen worlds like ours, not like this, but similar. So obviously, who do you go after that can see, the villains at work? They kind of have an idea. They know their history, so to a degree, it's like these guys might be a problem, so we'll wipe them out first, and it'll take a while for the Pleiadians to catch up. So these are more like negative Atlanteans, obviously, that went about that. That's pretty fascinating. Ouch. Not friendly at all. So, yeah, the human experiment went into different directions. Even the Yael got affected by it quite a bit. Much as the Yael, I always have problems with the Yael. Not to say I have difficulties with all of them, but there is something there that is not 100% kosher. Meaning that there is some negativity within them. Meaning that there is a lot of positive. I'll put that out there. But also the Yael, I feel like there's a two-sidedness. Meaning that they have a vendetta against us too. Gee, I wonder why. Who doesn't? It's like, I'm serious. I mean, that's the feeling I get from them. And even some of these channeling groups, I don't want to mention it, but are connected to the EAL are kind of shady. Without going full details, it's like we're going to sabotage humanity as much as we can. When I pick up on the EAL, they're playing a big role in our banking system and also entertainment, mostly banking. So not all of it, but their footprints are all there. Obviously, all species are footprints, but the Yael has a strong energy there. So a negative Yael energy race really hates her guts. So I wonder why. Just there's a long lineage to all of this, but when I connect to Yael, it's not pleasant. Now, like I said, there are friendly ones around, but they can't seem to stop the negative ones that are here. The ones that are negative here are pretty powerful. Almost not as powerful as the Nordics, but they are pretty influential here. They're very tricky. Once again, you connect to Yael are always fun. Of course, I connect to some female energies that were supposedly like a girlfriend energy. It's like, holy shit, run for the hills. So, anyway, that was only one version of that. Yeah. Another version of Captain Marvel. Another chapter. Ouch. Yeah. It's good to be single. Or on another planet. Just opened a wound on that one. So, either way. So, not to say all the Zetas. Now, I believe like with the Zeta element was more of a positive connection. But obviously, you can take something positive and turn it into something that's like, what the fuck? So it was all done on a neutral connection. It was all done on a friendly connection in the beginning. So it's something for you to connect with. The Zetas, like I said, the Zetas have an intricate connection with us, DNA-wise. The reason I bring it up because they can also unlock us from this reality. So of course they're going to be seen as a villain. Now, how do you unlock? Well, people become less focused on the Matrix realities because they are helping behind the scenes on assisting us on releasing this reality. And there's a lot of backlash, obviously, for beings that want to keep us in the prison. Many of us want out of the prison. So those of us who want out of the prison are seen as the villain, the bad guy, whatever. And the friendly ones that are so-called friendly, they're not really friendly at all, going by the book. Whatever it might be. Not to name names. But, so my feeling is with the Zetas are, they're very quiet. Yes, not like because of the abduction situation. But when you get past that, they're not the easiest beings to connect with. But my feeling is my connection. They play a big role. Obviously, they get attacked. They be used a lot, like us. And they can. I feel they can unlock us from this. It just takes time. How are they going to do it? Just follow your heart. Look at it that way. There's a lot of obviously alien elements here, and angelic, of course, and spiritual beings. Now, our world is not much different than the spirit world. I mean, yeah, we take a beating here, but we make a lot of mistakes that they do in the spirit world too. We're here to, have better guidance here. Control, I'm going to say control, but bring more positive guide presence around you. It's like if you feel something's off, connect to your guides and just say, I want positive beings here, not the shady ones, or whatever. If there's anybody shady, get lost, or however word you want to use. And it's good to do a house cleaning there, maybe every day. It's like people bring in the light and all that, but I think even doing now, you don't have to if you feel like everything's okay. But if you feel like life isn't going anywhere, it's like, oh, my life is just not going anywhere. Doing a guide cleaning, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Now, you want to keep the good ones, just the stuff that you don't need. Also, because it's another way to communicate with them. You might not hear them, but at least you can put the intentions. I don't always hear my guides. They come through, oh yeah, that's right, I did have a... They're working through me. I don't really hear a whole either way. I did feel, because I got an email about connecting to my guides and giving me. I felt a lot of female guides around me actually. First, for the most part, most of them are just like, oh yeah, we better be quiet. It's like, oh Yoda is again. So, for like the 5th time today, it's like, come on guys, you can do a little bit better. But I just feel a more female presence. What I get from them is also they're going to do like my position, do this on other worlds, or help others that are here to do this type of situation, go against the manipulation. And it's not an easy task, that's for damn sure. It's far from it. If you only knew. But basically we're here to open up the door to higher reality energies. It does take time. It's to go against the old ways of doing things. Connecting to, I mean, I talked to this about 100 times, but life is basically the real world is basically bringing astral into our reality. It's because there's a lot of stuff hidden here, like Atlantis, for example, is an astral right now. Now, if we have an open mind, you don't have to be at the highest frequency, but have an open mind. Astral can allow more things to appear here. It's like, why didn't we see that before? So that's where we're heading. Dragon energies, whatever it might be, to help us awaken. It's just, we have not made the full call to it yet. I don't know what's going to occur, but everything's in the astral world, and this world can be easily switched around. It's just energy here. We don't see it that way in our reality, but for them it's just energy. So anything can happen here. So, alright. Second part, or the last portion of this, is the U.S. government channeling. I felt their energies around yesterday. Very bizarre. So why not give them a visit, or let them visit. Jeez. Let's see what we get from that. That's hot as hell up here. Alright, I'm not sure how this is going to go. I'm not sure. I'm going to just do more conscious connection with them, because I don't know what the hell this take it. So okay, what they're showing is remote viewing I connected to. The U.S. government is remote viewing this connection. All you have to do is hit. Well, not everything I do is recorded, so obviously, yeah. So, So I am, from what I believe, I'm tapping into the government more than I thought I was. I'm kind of, at least astrally, I'm seeing what they're up to, basically. So I guess you can say I technically welcome their energies here to be known. that they can be spiritually connected to, not to put a worry in it, because the last thing they want is war. I mean, don't we have enough of that already? As I become more understanding the fundamentals of your existence here is to end the manipulation. But to do that is to be curious of what's around you, and anything can be tapped into, such as the government itself. Now, the U.S. government does have a consciousness, let's say a Illuminati consciousness about it, not to be afraid of it, because it is most part a neutral energy. The U.S. government itself is a neutral zone, or world government in general. It's technically a neutral zone altogether. So we'll just get it to the U.S. right now. Germany's going to hell. There's a lot of darkness there. It came back. Wherever it was gone is back. I think they said there was a lot of anti-Semitism going on there. Yeah, something's up with Germany. It ain't good. So hopefully that'll wash itself out eventually. Yeah, whatever it is, it just entered in there. I don't think it's for the Prime Minister. Well, possibly, but it's not the end of the world or anything. It's just the darkness is trying to take over again. So we are coming to the we got a while to 2040, but yeah, they're just trying to show that they're still powerful here. So aside from that, the U.S. government, well, all right, take this for a grain of salt, but the U.S. government does not want war anywhere anymore. It's waiting for humanity to cool its energy field to become more open. Right now, humans are not, they're highly manipulated by, yes, negative manipulative forces from all over the globe and the universe and most of the globe. It's basically there's many secret societies here that have agendas. It's like, how many people can we manipulate? How many people can get to go to Walmart? How many people can get to go to Amazon? Not say it's all manipulation, but it's like a game to them. And it's for us to weave the game. Not to say stop going to Walmart, but it's Walmart, but it's this, and it's like if you're aware of the game, you're not so much in it. You're outside of it. Obviously, you need items and stuff, but others are like programmed robots in your society. You can feel it. You just feel it, and you just can sense. I can sense it, but I don't tap into it that much. But those are more open, or more like hippie energies, and just if you're kind of like mentally off the grid, they don't like that, obviously. But it's up to us to awaken, and yes, they're going to put pressure on us to stop. It's a game in the long run. Obviously, it's more than that, but it's treated like a game. So think about world government. They're keeping an eye on everyone, at least vibrationally, of what you do. They can see it vibrationally. They don't know what you're doing. Like, they don't necessarily have to see exactly what you're doing, but they know vibrationally. They get statistics, you can say, worldwide, of who's doing what's going there. They see numbers. Let's put it that way. And so many, as people are breaking free, you'll see the players of this reality. Probably more in the fourth dimension. I mean, if you see some kind of British guy, wearing a tux, smoking a pipe in the fourth dimension, most likely that's one of the players of our reality. I know it sounds weird, but then again, it makes sense. And they can appear here too. I know this all sounds freaking weird, but it's going to sound, nothing here makes any sense anyway, right? So obviously there are, I see a smoking jacket. So, to them, we are not necessarily laughable. We are children slowly trying to wake up. And there's a bigger picture here. Basically, something you always see like in a science fiction movie, when people appear, disappear, appear to talk to you. Now, I've had stories about this, where like some lady was worried about her daughter, had a lot of cussing, thought she was going to go to hell. She was on a beach thinking about this, and then some random guy showed up and said, "Don't worry about your daughter, she's not going to go to hell." It's like, okay, and then the guy disappeared. And that actually happened. So there's like an angel energy for that. So these people, I'm not saying these people are going to appear anytime soon, but the controllers of your planet, I'm not saying they're all wearing smoking jackets, but they might as well be. It's just that it's more simplified in the higher dimensions of who's controlling our reality. And if we just let go of all the drama and see what's going on, become more simple. You'll just see strange things, let's put it that way. It'll all simplify itself. Even what Bob Lazar was talking about is the spacecraft he found was actually pretty simple, but very highly advanced. It was simple how it worked, but still technologies we don't have here. So yeah, if you simplify reality, which is not easy, it's just the game is to keep you in the game. And those of you just like, I don't want to be part of this crap anymore. I want my angels, I want my aliens, I don't want any of this third dimensional shit anymore. And I believe that will cause a reaction, It's like you want out of this reality, you want a more, reality makes more sense, and you want to be a slave, part of the slave system. Not to say you're going to be easily out of it. Might make it worse. But, it's just that you're kind of pulling the plug from yourself. So, let's see. The U.S. government energies, obviously, they're watching all this, listening to it. Obviously, the collective isn't going to, the human collective isn't going to tap into this for various reasons, for lessons, and it's just that our reality is a hypnosis reality. It's hypnotizing people, and it's very addictive and not easy to snap out of it. So this what do you call it, this elite global government elite group are, I would say, more like aristocrats. They don't like the queen too much because she's very arrogant. She thinks she runs things. Think again. She's like a one-trick pony, is what they say. So what I see is like hidden world leaders in the fourth dimension. Now, are they all wearing smoking jackets? Yes and no. No, but some are. It's just that they feel like they're wealthy and they're just waiting for us to snap out of this. So I know it sounds weird and all, but might as well, right? It's just, so I'm putting all this weird shit out there, but I mean, when you think about it, because what I see is like, what they're showing me is like a table, a round table, and they're all kind of keeping an eye on us. Not all the time, but it's kind of like it's futuristic where they can see energies, numbers, whatever it might be, and some people go, it's like they're in a building or I don't know, some kind of place, I don't know where it is, but they show us, they show what they're working on. It's like a holographic wall. They can show different things or what they want to show a friend or whatever it might be. It's kind of like Dimension X, but this is a little bit different. Obviously there's several realities that are connected to ours. It's like an elitist reality. I've connected that to a degree. I can't remember everything. But this one is, at least it's connected to the U.S. government. It's more of a simplified reality. So, just say no. It's that simple. Say no to this reality. I'm not being part of this crap anymore. It just takes time it's like whatever the hell you see after that. If you see a reptilian pissed off at you, like in your mind, don't be surprised. Just say no. I know it sounds weird. It's all, when it comes down to it, it's all simplistic. Breaking out of this, it's not easy to break out of it, but it gets more. It's just they don't make it easy for obvious reasons. But our structure is actually quite simple. It just they make it complicated for us so we don't see it. And that sounds all weird, but it makes sense when you think about it. It's like they're just keeping our minds busy and focus on everything not within, and I'm connecting all this weird shit, But you think about it, I mean, everyone connects to some kind of Illuminati force of some kind. Everyone sees something. And for what I see, it's like a round table group. Not to say they're around the round table all the time, but it's like a table that has a lot of holographic energies around it, and they keep an eye on us. It could be a large building, not making it that, or a large city for that matter. Either way, they're in the fourth dimension, wherever it might be, and they're keeping an eye on us. Let's put it that way. So that's what I'm getting from the U.S. government. Yeah, they do a lot of remote viewing on us on a daily basis. Not everybody, those that are getting attention. Sometimes you can pick up on it, sometimes you can't. But the idea, the core idea is to make, I believe, from what I'm getting from the government, they want peace. It's just the human consciousness is having difficulties for that. There's a lot of agendas going on, so a lot of manipulation. But I believe it's like, I feel like everyone's just tired. I mean, it's like, have we seen enough? We've done, because from what they're showing me, it's gone to a level of darkness that's like, with the sad, they're monitoring everyone. But it's like they're just kind of sick of it now. So, because it can get far worse, not to say it will, but at least that's what I'm connected to. I don't know if you agree with it or not, but it does make from what I feel, just say no. I know it sounds like that's probably simplistic, but you never know. That words are very powerful. You never know. It's like saying no to the contracts of this reality. And you never know. You might feel a shift. You might feel a change timelines. Not to say you're going to see a unicorn and a Gartha 5 minutes later, but you never know. But you might feel the idea is not to be manipulated by the manipulators and feel like you're on another planet. You mean like you're on Earth, but you feel like you're watching a movie and you're not involved with this planet anymore. And that's basically the idea. That's a separation. Is what we're looking for. It's like, do you want to be part of all this? Do you want to be part of all the manipulation? Same old shit, same old holidays. It's like we're a one-trick pony, like the Queen. even the Queen. It's almost like a comedy show looking at that. So much propaganda around it. It's such a joke. But people eat it up. That doesn't mean you have to eat it up. It's like you're on. We've done this with channelings. It's kind of happening now. Gradually. With channelings, is like what I've had in the past when I first started. It was like the third dimension technically go to another planet, supposedly. Or you more like have a separation. Those are connecting more to the higher dimensional thought patterns, energies. Nothing's perfect, obviously. But you feel like you're disconnecting from the movie of the third dimension. You're still here, but you're not being affected by it as much. And, obviously the less stress, the better. You'll see it even more. And you'll probably feel a pull to pull you back into that reality for obvious reasons, because they don't want you out. But there's nothing wrong with stepping out of it. So, yeah, because if you were pulled out of this reality fully, it'd be really weird. It's like we're not. I mean, I believe you can actually. I believe many people are actually ready for that. Just pull into like a fourth dimension energy, and just feel like, wow, this is. I mean, truly, I believe many people here can actually disappear. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be at this high vibration. You have to have an open mind, and just be ready for something like that to happen. I believe it can happen. Now, I'm not saying you're leaving people behind. It's just that you're at a different level of consciousness. I believe that can happen. I don't know if it will. Now, will people notice that you disappeared? Yes and no. No, I don't. I think that'd be too weird. But it's like you'll have a moment of being invisible. It's like, I think I was just invisible for a little bit. Something like that. I don't think it'd be fully pulled out of it, but I believe it is very possible. Yeah, because I'll make it too weird. But I believe a lot of people that are in a higher they're already there now. It's just disappearing is it's a whole nother world with that. That was fascinating. That makes sense. Yeah, because you just when you're done with all the bullshit, basically, you can snap out of this. Not necessarily so you're here to do that, but who knows? I don't know if I'll snap out of it. Yeah, some might feel like they are. I don't know. You might want to test that whole invisibility thing. It's like walk around and say, "Hey, look, everyone, I'm invisible." People look at you like you're nuts. But it's almost like you're living in a daydream, something like that. To put it that way. Yeah, I believe though that is possible where you kind of black out. You're still kind of there, but you kind of black out and you're somewhere else. And you're seeing these people and they don't see you, that type of thing. Yeah, it's probably possible. And then you kind of go back to your body. So you never really left, but you did, but it was so spontaneous. So it's kind of like an out of body thing. But when you're not, you're out of your body, but your body's still there, standing, functioning. But it was so quick. Yeah. I think we're doing that right now. We're just not aware of it. Yeah. That's the astral connections. Yeah. So you're just getting a dose of that. I think that's highly possible. Yeah, like you're still functioning in this reality, but you're also somewhere else, and you become more aware of yourself somewhere else. That definitely. That's where we're slowly heading to. Yeah, that's fourth dimensional talk. That's weird, but that's the fourth dimension or the fifth dimension. Instead of like what you saw in Game of Thrones, and how as exciting as that is, that is the third dimensional, whatever it is. It has a purpose, obviously, and then the 3D world will start to heal a little bit more over time. Yeah, it's just getting used. It's getting used to four-dimensional energies, basically. There will be a time when four-dimensional energies are really start increasing here, but not yet. It's happening now, but when it really starts to fire up, when you feel like, it hasn't. I don't believe some people have days where they feel like they're in the fourth dimension and they're back in this reality. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go back. Yeah, so it feels like more of that's going to start occurring. But nothing too dramatic just yet. Yep, no fear, no worries of this. No, don't have to worry about anything anymore. And more understanding. And that's what you want. You want more understanding. You're always gonna learn, but more. You just have You're not judging anybody, and you're just at this bliss. And you're a lot happier usually too, from what I can feel. But going through what you're going through here is it's like, well, this is what they're no, this is the U.S. government. This is like spirit talking, but it's more people go more fourth dimension. All the problems you have in this life, everything human, I know obviously is not easy, but as you go in more the 4D reality, you see is like, wow, I've been through all that stuff because I'm there to assist those that've been through what I've been through. And I can easily connect to them. I can easily know what they've been through. Now, you're like an alien at that point? I don't know. But, I don't know how that works. You're not giving me a clear indication of that one. But it's like everybody here is downloading data, obviously. Everybody has a library within themselves that goes on infinite library. So when somebody connects to your energy, you kind of connect to your library. And some are attacking you to get information, obviously. Just not be afraid of the manipulators of this reality. And just follow the truth that is you. Which is not easy. Because you want to go kick the ass of these other guys. Trust me, I'm one of them. I get all pissed off, and I just gotta calm that down. It's not easy. Because you get mad. You get mad at what I see it's people that are manipulating others. I get so pissed off. But it's like, first of all, I'm not gonna win that. You gotta concentrate on your own direction. It's not easy because you wanna save the world, but who knows the time and place for everything. So yeah, just concentrate on your own truth, basically. Yeah, you don't have to agree with anybody, just agree with yourself. And well, if I do that, connect to the Zeta energies, they are assisting, yes, the U.S. government to rebuild itself. It's not always now the reptilians, on how you want to look at it. And I'd say all reptilians are perfect. Some of them are really bad, but also look at for example, the reptilians, like us. You know, you gotta get a job, right? You gotta feed yourself. So you're at working at a place that's kind of crappy, right? It's like, I don't like what I'm doing, but if it pays the bills, right? With the reptilians, it's kind of the same thing. It's like I'm thinking a lot of them want to be doing this shit anymore, but it's like, where do you go? They can't leave. They're kind of in a tough spot, from what I'm gathering from them. They're not much different than we are in a lot of ways. Now there are others that are just damn, this not good. But others are doing it because they're told to do it because they got nowhere else to go. It's like this is where they're taken care of. They watch over us, manipulate our asses. But if they can do something else, a lot of them would. So I mean, we there's a lot of jobs here. Imagine people would not want to do. Slaughterhouses and etc. So it's another way of looking at it. Alright, I've had enough answering questions. About 8 days for delivery. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, it's hot here. Hopefully it gets cooler tomorrow. So hopefully that's bringing some insight. So much love, everyone, and thank you for your support, and take care.